Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's Crush It in Sales podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet, and I'm a sales strategy and success coach. And thank you in advance for joining me. This is part 2 of my little social media series that I'm doing. And this week, I want to talk about intentions on social media. I believe in energetics, as many coaches do, and I believe there's something around the energy that you put behind your social media content, whether it's podcasts, posts, YouTube videos, writing, you name it. I'm sure I'm missing something out there. And also the intention that you have on the platform. What does that mean? When I go to record a podcast, I'll be really honest, I sit and say a little prayer. I ask God to help me speak clearly, intelligently, with positive energy for the greater good, to help the most amount of people, grow my audience, grow my business. And I actually really say a prayer and put that intention out there. I do that before podcasts that I record with my niece. Now my niece Sienna does the little prayer. And I do it before my podcasts that I record with my husband. Both of those that I'm mentioning are on the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I don't tend to just post to post. And it's really made a difference. I also have intention around how I behave on social media. And I think this is a really big topic for a lot of people. Are you commenting? Are you even liking? Or are you just scrolling mindlessly? What are you doing on the platform? How are you behaving? And then, how is it serving you? Is it just wasting your time? It goes into my time management series, right? Where it's just, a creative avoidance distraction? Or are you using it intentionally to create relationships, be supportive, build your business, share something with someone to help them, like whether it's a tip, a video, or something that can be a tip and really help the person? What is all of that, going on? What's going on in your brain behind the scenes? What are you doing? There's so many emotions that can get wrapped into social media. And sometimes even people end up having comments that are like, oh gosh, are you just trying to override someone else? Override the coach and share your comment so you can override them? I've actually gotten into mind loops where I'm like, I didn't mean to do that, but did I do that by mistake? Is someone going to think that? So there's intentional behavior around that too. So really being mindful, and I think when you start to practice this and you make it a habit, it becomes easier and more natural for you. So I'm going to challenge you today to really sit and think about, how is your behavior online, whether it's your own content that you're creating. Are you setting an intention before you create the content and putting it out there? Or are you just doing it and it's just like a mindless activity that you have to check off on your checklist, kind of like what I talked about last week? I caught myself doing that, right? And then how are you behaving with other people? Are you being supportive? Are you also, sometimes I feel like I just want to help their algorithm, because I know that when you comment, it helps someone else's algorithm, and I'm more than happy to do that. So sometimes I do that too. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's still helping someone. So maybe there's another reason for commenting, liking, and sharing out there. That feel free to send me an email or a note and, hey, I do it for this purpose. I would love to hear that. I'd love to share that actually as an idea. But those are my things. I like to be supportive. I like to cheer people on. I like to help their algorithm, because I always appreciate when someone does it for me. So yeah, pay it forward and be supportive online. Don't just like mindlessly scroll and never like or comment. Think about that. So again, that's your homework for this week. I'm going to keep this podcast really tight because it's actually a really big topic. It's a really big thing to become intentional with your content if you're not already doing that. And I can bet you that just like everything else in this world, all the personal development, things you hear and read or watch or listen to, but 9 times out of 10, most people don't do anything with it. They just kind of move on to the next little juicy tidbit. So it's the same thing. Like, how intentional are you being with your content? And if you're not, take some time this week to start to make it a habit. All right, that's all I've got. Until next week, I hope you crush it in sales and crush it with your intentional social media. Thank you for listening.